This is Ranger Kidwell-Ross, editor of World Sweeper and the director of the World Sweeping Association. I'm proud to say that we are at the Civenex trade show in the Hawkesbury, New South Wales, Australia. We're going to be talking to Ron McLean, who's the territory sales manager for Rosmech sweeper distributors in Australia, and he's going to be talking about this Rosmech sweeper. So, hey Ron, good to see you again. We're old friends, and talk to me about this sweeper, if you would.
No worries. I'm actually from Victoria, but I'm up here helping at the Civenex trade show, and we're just going to show you around some of our range. This is our Merlin, which is a single engine sweeper. It's a hydrostatic sweeper. Very popular in rural councils because, as you can plainly see there, we don't have a second engine, which is a considerable cost savings to this unit. Most of the sweeping gear and the functions on this truck are identical to any other sweeper that you'd come across in the suction sort of sweeper design. So we've got our channel brushes, which have power down, power up. Although what is very good on these models, we also have an ultralight sweeping mode. We can actually lift the brooms if there's not much on the ground, or we can, if we had a raised curb, we can actually raise the broom to go into that area. Our nozzles are the same as any other suction sweeper configuration. With options, we can add high pressure water to the front, to the rear. It has what we call a gobbler, which is for raise and lower, for taking larger product in the uptake tube. But the big feature of this truck is, as I said, no engine here. We can fit a 1,250 litre water tank. We've done away with a lot of weight and payload issues on this truck, so it's basically just carrying its own water. Our hopper design is still the same. We've still got 5.5 cubic metres of capacity there to carry product and load. The whole unit is powered by, when you look into this area, it's a hydrostatic box. So this is a Hino FE truck, and it has a manual transmission, 6-speed. So we can drive this down the road as a manual vehicle. When we get to our sweep site, we stop the truck, we apply the handbrake, we put the foot on the clutch, we engage the hydrostatic system, put the truck into 6th gear, lift the foot off the clutch. We don't touch the clutch, it's not a manual anymore. What we do then, we come to the pod. This is the right hand side. Obviously in Australia we spend 95% of our time on the left. This stick here, forward, reverse, and that's all you use to work the sweeper. You can use your throttle for your speed, and it'll run up to about 35 k an hour, maybe 38, and then you basically got your sweep control system there.
Very simple.
The whole thing works off this. To work this truck, as I said, clutch in, hydrostatic, which is that button there, it'll engage it, and then once it's in hydrostatic mode, truck goes over into the 6th gear, and then you foot off the clutch, and that's it. It'll just sit there. That'll go from the manual symbol over to the H for a hydrostatic symbol. Now you can see that function there. That's basically your sweeper display screen. I hope it will show up in colour. At the moment that's in the entirely off position. If I push that, that's red for standby, red for standby, red for standby. Then I add water to it. Blue represents water. Then I can go across to my control pad. If I pull that down, it engages the entire sweeper system. I can move my brooms in, out. If I've got a large obstacle on the gobbler, I can open and close the mouth, and when it's ready to dock, hit the stick up, the whole truck's turned off again. Then to take it out of hydrostatic, I simply reverse the process, foot on the clutch, truck out of gear, hit the button, it goes back to manual, and it's a truck. It's the simplest truck you could ever wish to operate. We have extra little features down here, and these are your channel brush setting and your wide sweep setting. So that's a normal setting in the middle, but if you had some packed in dirt on the road, I can add pressure to the system. I can go back to normal, but if there wasn't much debris on the road, I can save my broom wear, which is critical. It's a very critical cost in a sweeper over a 12-month period. I can go to light sweeping mode, and that just elevates my gear so as it's still doing its job, but it's not necessarily wasting bristle. As you can see, it's just a beautiful ergonomic design, this sweeper.
This is a real nice chassis, isn't it?
Beautiful. This is fully adjustable. In Australia, obviously, this is where we sit, and that's how you work your truck. But once it's all set up, the ergonomics of this truck, that's it. Basically, I just sit here. I can go, if I'm doing a long haul, I can hit cruise control. The truck will just lock into a low range speed, 5 k an hour, 10 k an hour, whatever the preference is, into drive, and that you just sit back and steer the truck and let it do its job.
Lots of clearance, plenty of visibility. Out all directions. The seat is quite comfortable and spring spring-loaded?
Yeah, air. We only use air ISRA seats in our trucks because 8 hours a day in the truck, it's important for the driver. Little things like we add air guns to our truck so as driver can keep his truck tidy. I'm a strong believer in a clean workstation. I like it. You know, it's a big investment to buy a sweeper. If you're working for someone, you owe it to them to keep this sort of investment as clean as possible and maintained. Yeah. Oh, adjustable, sorry. Yeah, fully adjustable steering from a comfort level. You can put them down, up, whatever you want to do with these things. In Australia, the preference for cab chassis is generally your Hino. This is a 12-ton version, but our 12 tons are identical to our 14 tons. Then you could take a step up into what they call an FG Hino, 15 to 15.5.
So Ron, now we're in the cab here of this the sweeper. Tell us again what kind of cab, just to remind everybody, because in the States especially they won't have seen these.
Well, this is a Hino FE, and the Hino FE comes in a 12-ton and 14-ton version. This is the 12-ton version, which allows us to drive non-stop around Australia with a logbook, so it's our preference for a demonstrator. Now, to use this as a sweeper, being a hydrostatic truck, it's a manual to drive, which is quite comfortable left or right hand side to drive this as a manual. And to go into hydrostatic mode, you would bring the truck to a stop, you would apply the handbrake, you would put the truck into neutral, foot onto the clutch, push the hydrostatic button there. That M there for manual would go to red for hydrostatic. That would mean that it's engaged. You put your foot off the clutch, it will engage the hydrostatic drive system, and that's pretty well set then. Now you can sit here and set up your sweep mode, which will be, you can see everything there, that's in the off position, all in blue. Okay. If I wanted to engage my channel brush, I'd push the button here, it goes to red for standby. Obviously I'm going to want my suction nozzle, red to standby. I might choose to use my wide sweep, red for standby. Obviously we're going to run a little bit of sweeper water, so if I push this one here, that's your basic water button setting. That will enable water to your channel brush and basic water into your uptake tube. If it was night time, you just hit your light button, the symbol will come up, you've got lights, you've illuminated the side of your truck. And then basically what you've got to do is come over to here. The button on the pod now would engage your RPM to stage 1, and it would demonstrate here, it'd show. And then you'd push boost if you wanted boost, and it would show if the engine was running. And then all you have to do is basically push that stick forward, drive, that's neutral, and that's reverse. You don't use the clutch at all, and this is your sweep stick. Pull that down, that'll engage the sweep gear, that'll throw your broom left, throw your broom right, that'll work the gobbler on the uptake tube, so the whole truck will just operate.
Talk about the gobbler on the uptake tube. What are we talking about there?
Well, you've got your suction nozzle. The suction nozzle is tracking along the ground.
We're in a vacuum sweeper, not a regen.
This is a vacuum sweeper, so the nozzle just tracks along the ground. You're probably sitting about 20 mil clearance off the deck. If you were coming across and there was a large plastic bottle, a 2-litre milk bottle or a brick or something like that, with the gobbler, as you're coming up to it, you just hit that and that nozzle will just open up and take it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Or you can leave it permanently open for an autumn. We're in autumn in Australia at the moment. You'd push that button, the gobbler would go up and stay open for you.
Just for the leaves.
Yeah, until you disengaged it. Another feature on the hydrostatic that a lot of people really do like is the fact that you can put it into cruise control. So as a highway sweeper or a big long straight sweeper, you just have the truck in the forward drive position. You just reach the speed you want, hit the button. It could be 5k an hour, it could be 10k, it could be 15, and you just sit there and you just drive the truck. All you've got to worry about is moving your brooms, gobbling a little bit if you had to, and when you've finished your sweep, quite simply the stick goes up, every piece of sweeping gear docks and goes away. You just shut your RPM down on the truck and then disengage the hydrostatic system, which is just reverse of what I did before, which would be clutch in, truck into neutral, push the button, it'll go from H for hydrostatic over to manual, and then you're a truck again.
So you're back to a 6-speed.
Back to a 6-speed stroke. Yeah. In Australia, the law would require, though, as we're driving a truck, I would have to get into that seat. The right-hand side of the truck, yeah. So, but yeah, and we have extra little features. I think this is a great broom cost saver. If, over a 12-month period, the brooms you can go through is significant. Those two that's a wide sweep channel brush. That's a standard setting. Now, if you've got something packed into the road, you can pull them down, one or the other, whatever you want. It'll give you the pressure onto the road to actually remove the stuck-on product.
So that'd be great for construction sweeping or something like that. When
Fantastic.
you have a
Site
track
cleaning.
out. Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah, really good for site cleaning construction. But at the same time, if you're running down gutters where they're relatively clean and you don't want to be burning up brooms, you can go to a light setting. And therefore you're actually taking the load off your brooms, and you're probably extending the life of your brooms, you know, by, if you ran it on a full shift like that, you double the life of your brooms or close to it, which is a significant cost saving over a 12-month period.
So the operator can just move from one to the other, see how well the equipment's performing. If it isn't,
everything,
change it back.
Everything is gaugeable from inside this truck. There's no getting out to check. Great mirror setup. We have fantastic camera setups in our trucks. We look at our left broom, our right broom, the rear of the truck, and we'll custom modify that camera system to suit a customer's needs. Vision, as we know in a street sweeper, is just paramount for safety and also performance. Yeah. The console design, very ergonomic.
Very clean console design. It really
left or right hand side, everything's within your reach. So no, I love this truck. When I came from the opposition company I was working at, it was funny, I sold against this thing, and I didn't give it the respect it was due. This is an amazing sweeper, it really is. I'm surprised we don't sell more. There's a big focus on twin engine trucks in Australia, but those that actually have these in their fleet, and they just come back time after time for them. This is just, for those in the know, they just love this piece of equipment. Yeah.
So it pays to give it a try and then see what you like, or talk to happy users and see what they have to say.
Yeah, I think that's what you just said is true. Don't be afraid to give this a try. This is a brilliant piece of equipment, and obviously running a single engine, your servicing costs are massively down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's amazing piece of equipment. I love it. Yeah.
Well, how would somebody get hold of you if they wanted to do that?
Well, you've got the Australian website. Rosmech has a very good website in Australia. I'm a Victorian Tasmanian territory manager, but I also help out across Australia. I've been in the game a long time, 33 years in the sweeping industry. You'll find all of our different sales guys in different territories, names on the list. We'll have the contact numbers there. We demonstrate, we bring the truck to you. We demonstrate on site in your territory. We think that's very important. And we don't like to do short little skimpy demos. You can't tell if a truck's good in 2 hours. You really need a truck for a day to 2 days. Put it right through its proper shifts. You won't be disappointed. The knowledge within the Rosmech team it's phenomenal. We're all sweeper backgrounded people and genuinely interested in the product.
All right.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wants to just to check here, you can see on the sweeper next door. The website is Rosmech, ROSMECH.com.au. Thanks again, Ron.
You're welcome. Thank you.